So you guys had an impressive season this year. What were your overall thoughts on the team's performance?
Yeah, we had a lot of highlights this year, so it was exciting to be obviously trying to move our culture forward, but also see people step up and do things that we haven't done in a long time. And so, if that's winning an event, against Cal or um, qualifying for NCAA's or having our highest team GPA in over 10 years, I think there's a lot of good things that are happening here, and obviously we're going to keep pushing forward and trying to develop our team culture, continue to up our GPA as a program, but also continue to send people to NCAA's and the postseason, which I think we did a great job of this year.
So you talked a little bit about some of the great performances. The midseason invite, you had a ton of top 10 times, school record, and it also helped you lead the Pac-12 in improvement rates. Talk about what that meant to the team and how that was accomplished.
Yeah, I think Houston was obviously a great meet for us. And to know that we didn't put all of our eggs in that basket's even better. But we had Kiana break the 100 freestyle school record. We had 15 all-time top tens at the Houston invite, and then we also had 5 NCAA B cuts. So there was a lot of great things happening at that meet, and that was just a culmination of all that hard work that we had done first semester. And as we were going into that meet, we were really working a speed phase, and so for us, it was nice to see those big time drops across the board, and to see everyone come together as a group. It was a lot of fun, and we obviously did a great job. And we're going to keep work. We kept doing some really good work into the second semester. But yeah, Houston was a very good meet for us, and I think as the meet went on, we got better, and we saw more and more time drops and bigger performances out of everybody.
Um, you kind of touched on it a little bit with the big performances. You also had a Pac-12 Swimmer of the Week for the first time in Cougar history. Talk about what that means for the team, what it meant for Taylor.
Right.
How does it impact the program as a whole?
Yeah. Having Taylor McCoy be Pac-12 Swimmer of the Week was great, not only for Taylor but for our program. For student athletes to see, hey, work hard, do a really good job in the pool, in the classroom, and, obviously good things happen. And, that Pac-12 Swimmer of the Week was based on her swims at our dual meet against Arizona. And, I believe she won all of her events, 200 back, 100 back, and then the relay she was on in the 400 IM. So, with us coming out of winter training and going right to Arizona State back-to-back, top 25 teams, I think it was really good performance out of Taylor. And, to have the first Pac-12 Swimmer of the Week is huge. And hopefully as we move forward next year, we can try and get 2 and obviously build and grow that culture and the idea of, hey, if you're doing everything right in the classroom, culture-wise, and in the pool, that good things are going to happen.
You've had a lot of firsts this year. For instance, the first time the team competed at the NICs, and you had some great performances there. Linnea won a national invitational title. Talk about what happened there. How did you prepare, and how are you feeling going into this season, bringing those performances?
Right. It's the first time we've been in the postseason in a very, very long time. So for us, having the opportunity to take a fairly big group to the National Invitational Championships was great. And having Linnea step up and win the 50 breaststroke, which isn't a normal standard event for most of the obviously dual meets and at Pac-12s and invitationals, it was nice for her to swim her favorite event. She doesn't get to swim it that much, like I said, but to have her win that event doesn't it helps continue to grow, what we're trying to push as postseason, swimming, not just to Pac-12s, but swimming in March and April February, March as we continue to go into the postseason. I think it's very important, and I think that kind of set the tone for the NIC championships, because that was on the first day, to get up and race and just have fun with each other and have a really good culture. So. And with Linnea being our lone senior, obviously we're going to miss her as we move forward, but she has done a lot this year regarding foundation of building our culture and trying to move forward as we move into next year. And obviously we're going to miss her a ton.
Speaking of postseason, you also had someone compete at the NCAAs. Talk about that, what that meant for the team, and how impressive it was to have your first Cougar in 9 years.
Yeah. So, having Mackenzie qualify for NCAAs was a big step. Hasn't happened in, like you said, 9 years. But I think, as we talk about NCAAs and continue to grow there, I think we need to talk about Pac-12s, because she was able to focus in on what she needed to do. And she just said, you know what, I'm gonna let it rip. I'm just gonna go and see what happens. And she did a great job. Our first A finalist in the Pac-12 swimming and diving championships, which was great. Our highest finish as from an individual standpoint in the Pac-12 history for our program. And it was great to see her continue to grow and get more confident as we not only went from Pac-12s but to NCAAs. Before we had even got to NCAAs, she was already talking about next year and how many people we can bring as a program to next year's NCAAs. And I was like, let's finish this NCAAs on a high note, and then we'll worry about next year. And she did a great job. There's a lot of people, a lot of lights and fireworks, and the whole nine. And it was great seeing our Cougar flag up in the stands and the banners with all the other programs. And she not only did well, she overperformed. 80 to 85% of the field at NCAA swims slower than the entry time. She not only improved in the 100 breaststroke to go lifetime best time, but she also swam her second fastest 200 breaststroke of her life. So for us, that's a huge step into next year and into the off season, which there's no off season. We're training over obviously for the summer. And so for her, I think it was, and for our program, it was a big step.
You've kind of touched on it a little bit, but your team culture, you really focused on that this year. What are you hoping to bring from your team culture into this off season for the summer training and then into next year?
Yeah, well, every year and every team is different. I mean, obviously, staff might remain the same, the nucleus might stay the same, but you lose your seniors, and then you add a freshman incoming class. And for us, obviously losing Linnea from a academic standpoint, culture standpoint, and obviously in the water is we're going to feel that next year. But I think she helped move our culture needle, but also helped obviously in the pool and with our grades. And when we bring in this new class, which right now sits at 7, it's going to keep growing. Hopefully 9, 10, 11. We want to make sure that we understand we want that family dynamic to be first and foremost, and we need to communicate in a positive manner, and we're going to keep doing that and keep working on that and keep growing that dynamic. But after that culture aspect, we talk about our grades and school and being a student first, and we had a huge step in our GPA last semester. We got up to 3.48 as a group, which our goal is a 3.6, so we're just a little bit off our goal. But that was our highest team GPA we've had in over 10 years. So for us, it was a huge step, and we're going to keep taking those big steps as we set set a bar of, look, these are our expectations. This is what we expect out of our great student athletes here.
So you had 35 top 10s, 49 individual wins, and 11 relays. How are you hoping to build onto that?
Right. Well, good question. Having 35 all-time top 10 swims is really important. So our student athletes can see, obviously what hard work will do and doing things the right way. I think that having those all-time top 10s shows your progression, not only individually, but, hey, where do I stack up in our history? And, there's some events where the whole top 10 changed, like the 100 breaststroke. We sit number 2 in top 10 times, number 3 and number 5, I believe, which was a great event for us. Even in the 200 breaststroke, we sit number 1 and number 3. Number 1 is going to be a junior next year, and number 3 is going to be a sophomore next year. So we've got a lot of great things happening, and I'm so excited for us moving forward, especially when you talk about 49 individual dual meet wins and 11 relay wins. That's important. But I think as you look at numbers, you've got to step back and see, okay, what goes into those numbers? Numbers are really important, especially, now on the basketball side, we've got a very analytics-driven coach, which is exciting for Coach Smith and their staff. But, when we look at numbers on our end, because swimming is a very numbers-driven sport, time. It's really how we judge swimming. But I like to look at what goes into that as far as, work ethic, communication skills, culture. There's so much that goes into those times. And for me, we obviously want to grow on that. And as we obviously say goodbye to Linnea and we add 7 right now in the incoming freshman class or more, we want those numbers to continue to improve. And I think that once you have that right culture, you're going to see obviously our top 10 times numbers go up. You're going to see more individual wins. You're going to see more relay wins. But, again, for us, it's about doing things the right way from day one.
And then is there anything that happened outside of the pool that you think had an impact or really helped drive the swimmers to compete well? Right.
Well, Washington State Athletics had a really good year. I mean, you can go soccer, volleyball, you can go down the list. One of the fun moments of the season, I would say, probably has to go around talk about football and what Coach Leach has done on the football field. But having College Game Day come to town was not only good for the swimming program. It was great for our athletics department, but it was really good for Washington State University and for our community. And I think you saw this big buzz on campus the first time College Game Day came to campus, and just how strong Cougar Nation is. And I think it's important that was really one of the times that everyone saw it outside of what we deal with every day. But we have some great alumni. We have great parents. We are, I think, one of the strongest fan bases in the nation. And so for us, it's important that we remember, as we grow our culture, as we grow academically and in the swimming world, we have a lot of people that are cheering for us. Even if the spotlights aren't on us or on the football team or on anybody, there's a ton of people across the nation that are cheering for the Cougs.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Go Cougs.